Hello, I'm Haley Anderson. I'm here with Rita Karashi. She works with me at Lee Elementary and Cy-Fair ISD. So first off, what was the first language that you learned?
The first language I learned was Urdu.
Urdu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a native language from Pakistan.
Okay, cool. How long did you speak it before you learned English?
I spoke it for about 2-3 years.
And then you started hearing a little bit of English here and
Yes.
there? Okay. So when learning English, did you notice any similarities between Urdu and
Actually, there's more
English?
differences than similarities because everything, similar to Spanish, things are flipped around.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like since I learned Urdu first, it was a lot harder to learn English because everything is flipped around. So even if you're translating word for word, it's like open the door is door open.
Oh, okay.
So you have to really learn by listening to others rather than following the rules.
Okay, so it's more of listening and
Yes.
than listening it in your head and
Yes,
flipping
because
stuff.
if you translate it, then it's a lot harder. As a
It's
5-year-old,
difficult to
hard
comprehend.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel that you were able to learn English proficiently from what you were taught in your public school?
Yeah, I believe so. Since I learned at a young age, it's harder to think back and see, was it the grammatical rules that I was taught, or was it just listening and thinking of what I heard and how I'm supposed to use it versus what was actually taught by the teacher.
Okay. And were you put in any ESL classes, or were you just fully submersed in English and then that was it?
That was it. When I was in kindergarten, ESL did exist. I remember students being pulled, but I was never pulled.
Do you think it was because of the specific language that you spoke, or?
It could be. I think it was more for Spanish speakers that were being pulled. So I think that's why I wasn't pulled.
Do you think that hindered you at all, or?
No. Well, maybe because even as an adult, sometimes I find myself making grammatical errors. But I wouldn't say that's because I wasn't pulled out for ESL. But I still find some gaps that I need to fill in.
Okay. So, is there anything that you remember specifically that helped you understand or learn English that your teachers gave you, tools or anything like that?
I know matching words with pictures, like visually understanding that the word ear is actually your ear, or the word eyes is your eye. I think that helped me a lot. Learn the language, and sight words was a major one. There's so many words that aren't translated in my native language, so it's very important to understand those words and where they fit in order to form a sentence.
Okay. So what would you say was the most challenging subject for you to learn?
It always has been reading comprehension.
Okay.
It's even till now I struggle sometimes. I have to read certain things a couple of times before I can actually understand what I just wrote. The first time is for just fluency. And the second time is for a little bit more fluency. And the third time is for understanding a little bit of what I read. And the fourth time is basically understanding entirely what I read.
Okay, so do you think, writing, do you think it was relatively easy for you to learn, writing, letters and stuff like that, and forming them into words?
Letter writing and forming them into words was okay. I don't remember struggling with that. It was more comprehension.
Okay. Okay. What was the most challenging aspect of learning English in a public school?
I think not having a fallback, you don't have a friend that knows the same language that you can whisper, hey, what does that mean? Or someone to translate it for you. I think Spanish, since it's widely spoken in the U.S., there's always someone there that can translate Spanish. But for my native language, it was difficult.
Okay.
I think that was the hardest part.
So did you have any help at home then?
Well, my parents, they knew English at the time, but they weren't fluent in it.
Okay.
So they could help me with, how do I ask the teacher, when will I get homework or something like that. But as far as homework was concerned, they couldn't help me.
Okay. I guess any other like comments that you like, anything recognizable to you that stood out during your process of trying to learn English when your peers, I guess,
Raven
knew?
Sneed and Melissa Bean, please report to Susan's office.
I guess when your peers were already at least mildly proficient in the
I
language.
think the difficult part was making friends because of the language barrier. You know, as in kindergarten it was easier because you could just play. You start playing. You don't have. There's not a lot of talking going on. But as I got older, when the talking started, that's when I kind of felt left out. Even if someone wanted to include me, and I was a little shy.
Okay, because the comprehension.
Or even communicating properly.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember any specific accommodations that they gave you in school?
I know I had a lot of visual aids.
Okay.
So anything that, like if the teacher was talking about like the five senses or something like that, I would always have a picture there with me.
Okay.
Or if, you know, a lot of gestures, like if the teacher said everyone needs to listen and point to the ear. So I think that helped a lot. And as a kid, you don't realize that's what's helping you, but as an adult, you understand.
Looking back, hindsight always 20/20. Okay, well, so as a teacher, do you incorporate any of that into your ESL classes?
Yes, as a ESL teacher, I think I understand them better, and I understand, you know, because I was one of them. I can
empathize.
relate. And so a lot of visual, a lot of hand gestures, especially for my friends that are new to the country, and hopefully I'll help them as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.